Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise and get you up to speed on the stories behind the headlines.
And today, we've got a story that unfolded with astonishing speed. It's pure Hollywood drama, really, but with very real, very immediate consequences.
Yeah, we're talking about David Del Rio. He was, seemingly on the fast track, starring in the Matlock reboot, big network show.
A rising star, definitely. And then almost overnight, he goes from being in the spotlight to being fired amid a major scandal. We're talking less than 24 hours from things really heating up to him being out.
So our mission today is pretty clear. We need to unpack the sources we have on this. What's the allegation? What was the immediate professional fallout? Because it was immediate.
Right. And crucially, these conflicting stories that emerge almost instantly, especially from Del Rio's wife, it's a real clash of narratives.
Exactly. We want to understand what happens when the off-screen drama just completely takes over, when it basically shreds the script the network thought they had.
And we have to start with that initial shock, the core allegation itself, because it really explains why the industry reaction was so, well, swift.
It wasn't a minor issue. The accusation against David Del Rio, leveled by his co-star Leah was sexual assault. That's incredibly serious.
And the speed of the studio's response here,
Yeah.
that's maybe the biggest professional takeaway. They acted decisively before any public legal filings, which is significant.
Okay, let's walk through that timeline then, because the speed is the story here, isn't it? It feels different from how these things sometimes play out.
It does. So the forces suggest the allegation from Leah came in late September. But the key detail is that the internal investigation wasn't something that lingered.
Right, it wasn't weeks of deliberation.
No. The sources say the investigation started the same day the report was made internally. That signals, alarm bells ringing at the highest levels, crisis mode.
And the outcome followed almost immediately after that.
By October 2nd, just a few days later, sources confirmed David Del Rio was actually escorted off the studio lot, removed from the show permanently.
Wow. Escorted off the lot. That's quite a statement. Does that speed suggest they had more than just the initial report? Or is this purely about avoiding risk in today's climate?
Well, it's likely a mix.
Mm-hmm.
But primarily, you have to think it's a calculation about liability and, maybe more importantly, reputational damage.
Protecting the brand.
Exactly. They're likely thinking the long-term damage of being associated with an unresolved, serious allegation like this outweighs the immediate chaos of losing a main actor.
And let's talk about that chaos, because this wasn't a background character. Del Rio played Billy Martinez, a young lawyer, right? Part of the core cast.
Absolutely. A key part of the ensemble. You can't just erase someone like that without massive disruption.
No kidding. The network even confirmed his character has to be written out completely. So, season 2 plans. They're basically up in the air now.
They have to be totally reworked. Think about that they're likely already filming or deep into prepping season 2.
The cost must be huge. Reshoots, rewriting scripts on the fly, delaying production possibly. They're choosing all that over keeping him on set for even another day.
And the irony, it's almost,
Okay.
well, it's hard to miss. It's a legal thriller, right?
Yeah.
About finding truth in the justice system.
And now the real-life drama, the scandal, is completely overshadowing anything happening on screen. It kind of undercuts the whole premise, doesn't it?
It really does. The drama behind the scenes is now the main story associated with the show.
So when a network moves this fast, firing a core actor, escorting them off set, it signals they are treating the allegation with utmost seriousness, regardless of what happens legally down the road.
It suggests the perception of the problem, even before legal proof, is now seen as potentially toxic to a major network show.
They're acting like the court of public opinion is already in session.
Pretty much. But that's only one side of it, the industry reaction. The other side, maybe the messier side, is how this played out publicly.
Right, the battle of narratives, because that kicked off almost immediately, too.
Let's start with Leah, the accuser. Her first public statement wasn't, a fiery declaration. It was very measured.
Yeah, I saw that. She posted a photo with her mother, didn't she?
Exactly. And the caption was about moving forward in love and strength. But the sources highlighted her, emphasizing keyword, strength.
So subtle but pointed, signaling resilience.
Very much so. It felt like carefully controlled communication. She's acknowledging something serious happened, she's got support, and she's focusing on her own strength to move past it. Steely, as one source put it.
Meanwhile, from David Del Rio himself.
Crickets. Total silence, yes.
Yeah.
He hasn't directly commented on the allegation itself, which, is pretty standard legal advice, say nothing.
But silence creates a vacuum, especially now, and someone else definitely rushed in to fill it.
Oh, absolutely. his wife, Catherine Del Rio. And her response was, well, it wasn't subtle or measured. It was the opposite.
She went on the offensive, big time, on Instagram, right?
Yeah, a series of Instagram stories. They were deleted later, but you know how the internet works. Screenshots are forever.
And those deleted posts become part of the narrative anyway. What do they actually say?
So two posts really stood out, according to the sources. One was a direct attack on Lewis, a close-up photo of her face
Okay.
with this really harsh caption. This is the most disturbing human being I have ever met.
Wow. Not defending her husband, but attacking the accuser directly. Character assassination, basically.
Pretty much. And then the second one was even more strategically interesting.
What does she do?
She actually mimicked Leah Lewis's own post, the one with her mother, about strength.
Wait, she copied that.
She posted a similar photo, also with her mother, but the caption flipped the script entirely. It said something like, "Mom is here. We are moving forward in love and strength after what Leah did to our family."
Wait, hold on. After what Leah did to our family.
Exactly. It's an incredible rhetorical move. She's not just denying the allegation. She's positioning her family as the victims of Leah Lewis's actions.
That's bold. It completely reframes the situation, painting the accuser as the aggressor.
It creates an immediate, like, us versus her battleground. Two totally irreconcilable stories hitting the public at the same time.
And the fact they were deleted adds another layer. Plausible deniability, perhaps? Heat of the moment?
Maybe that's the hope, but the screenshots exist. So the record of that aggressive counterattack is out there, and this is how things get so messy so fast.
Yeah, the truth, whatever it is, gets buried under layers of claims, counterclaims, deleted posts, the viral echo chamber, as the sources called it.
The narrative war starts long before any actual facts are established legally.
Which brings us to the bigger picture questions, right? So what of all this? What does this whole episode tell us about the industry now and about how we even process truth anymore?
Well, there are definitely key questions still hanging out there. First, will Leah Lewis take legal action? The network acted, but will she pursue it further?
That's a big one. And second, will David Del Rio ever speak out? Will we hear his side directly beyond his wife's deleted Instagram posts? His career might depend on that.
Absolutely. And then there's the reputation question. His is obviously damaged right now, but what about hers? And what about the Matlock brand itself? It's now tangled up in this really ugly real-world situation.
That is. And if we pull back even further, think about the industry context. That swift firing, is that the new normal?
It's a really interesting point. Hollywood historically has often circled the wagons, protected stars, buried allegations. We've seen that countless times.
But here, boom, days, not months or years of internal reviews.
Right. So the question is, does this super fast action show real change, maybe a new moral standard? Or is it purely pragmatic?
You mean just fear? Fear of the backlash, fear of sponsors pulling out, fear of social media campaigns?
Could be. It suggests that the potential PR nightmare, the reputational risk in the current climate, now carries more weight than the massive financial and logistical cost of blowing up a TV show midstream.
That feels like a significant shift in the calculation, driven by, well, by us, the audience, and the expectation that this stuff won't be tolerated.
It seems that way. The tolerance level for perceived misconduct, especially of this severity, appears to be much lower now, forcing faster, more decisive action from networks.
So where does that leave the public, the fans of the show, or just anyone following this? We're basically presented with two starkly different realities.
Exactly. When Matlock comes back for season 2, it'll have this ghost hanging over it. And the audience is left asking, who do I believe?
Do you believe the accuser whose public statement was all about quiet strength and resilience?
Or do you believe the accused, who's been silent, but whose wife launched this incredibly aggressive counter-narrative, claiming they were the ones wronged?
It becomes less about the legal facts, which you don't have yet, and more about which narrative feels more compelling or more authentic in that public arena.
And unfortunately, careers can rise or fall based on that public perception long before any court case concludes.
Okay, so let's try to synthesize this. We have this incredibly serious allegation. We have an almost unprecedentedly swift firing by the network.
Followed immediately by this fierce, almost shocking counterattack from the accused's family member, creating two narratives that just cannot coexist.
Right, they're fundamentally opposed. And it all plays out in the court of public opinion, fueled by social media, before we have anything close to a full picture legally.
And it really highlights how information works now, or maybe how it gets weaponized. Every statement, every deleted post, every screenshot, it all becomes evidence in that public trial.
Which leads us to our final thought for you, the listener. Think about the power of those screenshots. Catherine Del Rio deleted her posts, right? Tried to retract them.
But they still exist. They're out there shaping how people see this probably forever.
So consider how quickly we form judgments based on this kind of partial information. Conflicting information, sometimes retracted information.
Public opinion takes shape almost instantly now, often way ahead of the actual story, let alone the legal process.
It's a strange place to be where the narrative can solidify before the facts are even gathered, something to definitely mull over.
Absolutely. The speed of judgment versus the slow, often incomplete search for truth.
We will definitely keep an eye on how this develops. Thanks for diving deep with us today.